Let's see if this works. Does it work? Let me test the audio. Typically things work and then kind of stop later on when it's inconvenient for me. Good? Good. Good. Why is the screen that it's capturing like not my screen? What is this? Why is my browser not here? Very strange. No, I need to fix a like capture bug. Or maybe I can just try to fix it. Right. Come on, Schwartz. That's looking good. Maybe I fixed it hot, fixed it live. Okay. Watching myself. Okay. I believe I did. Let me turn off my preview. How did that work? Okay. Definitely good stuff. Definitely good stuff. I haven't caffeinated heavily yet, so I'm not in my most excited mood, but I think I've kind of like I woke up today with a better sense of the marketplace, the ecosystem, the realities out there. And I think I basically feel better. Let me show specifically what I mean. Okay. So I think my kind of sense last night, I still think that's right. That the challenge for DevOps, the challenge of asking Claude Code to accomplish like a broader request and write some code. I think that's more or less all that this is. So that's real cool. One thing that makes me think is I thought this project itself might be like sort of heavily DevOpsy. We got Docker containers and we're running desktops. It's already, I mean, the only code I've written is pretty the only code I've written is how to run an X frame buffer, in the background and how to share it over a web UI and all of that. Super DevOpsy. So I thought that might be the nature of this project, but now I'm starting to think maybe not. Maybe I thought the world of like authoring big documents, like LLM powered novel writing, which I'm going to search here in a second just to be totally certain. But I think that might be more or less the big kind of challenge to solve to unlock all this. In other words, I thought it was like sort of a coordination DevOpsy, kind of coordinating all these little components and stick them together. And a lot of the work of the project is glue code. There may still be all that work to do, but on a relative basis, I think a lot of work might be composing or sourcing or finding text, documentation, which is both broad and comprehensive and also extremely finely detailed, such that it's sufficient to, prompt Claude Code, fire and forget, to prompt Claude Code in a reliable way. So if I say I want a website, that unpacks into, I want a cloud, service, and I want a Docker thing or something like that, right? And I want backups and so on. And I want, I don't know if it was a CDD TDD rather, and like, I want disaster recovery and these sorts of things. So I think that kind of fits into the model. So I think this idea is, well, I don't know if it's right, but this is, I think, what I still want to push on experimenting. And the good news is, I think I got to write some agent code today. I think I got to pick up an agent framework or two and start banging them into each other. Let's check this. Yeah. I think I might need to build like an LLM powered like DevOps plan maker, to the point where that might spin off this whole project. That might be, if there were a Python package where you said import, I should start telling this to a LLM. In fact, maybe I will. But yesterday I sort of was assuming, if I Google enough, if I search enough, I'll find either an open source tool for like building documents in a tree structure, like following the table of contents. Effectively, the table of contents is the tree structure of these documents. I'm talking about lowercase d documents, not like computer science documents, not CouchDB documents. But I thought there'd be a tool which would let me say, hey, here's the human, here's the system prompt, right? We want a, infrastructure project, as opposed to a real estate development or other sorts of massive, project management people might think about. So that's kind of our system prompt, our scope. And then I sort of thought I would say, good, I'm done here now. Now this library needs to flesh that out, or maybe I define the parameters of things or something like that. For example, there must be backup and recovery, and that must be tested in a weekly, regular what am I trying to say? Frequency, right? These like firm goals. I think I still have that project with those firm requirements. Anyway, so I had thought that there'd be a tool out there. In fact, I thought maybe there's like the general purpose tools and then there's specialized tools. I don't know. And I think the answer is maybe there's none. I'm gonna search again. This video is not meant to really be entertaining or dense. It's meant to document every keystroke. So maybe I'll search around. It's like vulnerable. I got to search around, be a newbie, and all this stuff. But I think I'm going to double check. I'm going to double check again. I thought writing novels. The only thing I know about writing novels is I thought there's a massive outline, and there's been software tools to help you structure and plan it all out. Kind of outline, novel writing tools. I wanted to just search that. Is that in here? More or less any, debugged, kind of framework, open source tool or framework or whatever, it would be accelerating compared to starting from scratch. But I mean, LLMs have been out a little while, but I don't know. Maybe everyone's going for a big cash grab for, I don't know, vibe coding or something. And no one's just said, what we need is a really good tree building, LLM powered like tree building tool. So maybe that's the thing to build today, is build an LLM agent, pick a framework, maybe think about, go back into all the different frameworks competing for my attention and choose them, or choose one or two, and build, a sort of, I guess, agentic. It's just writing, but yeah, we'll keep it simple. Don't have to be finished product today, but something that can basically do this phase 1 and phase 2. I guess really there's sort of two things. What was that, phase 1? Yeah. When you say what you want, when the human says what they want, it can QA because some information is genuinely like improper to, generate, right? It could generate a budget, but that's stupid. So these are the interactive only kinds of questions, and or this may be a separate exercise a little bit from independent mode, which is, it's, I think kind of the idea I had last night. We must complete let's say the tree, the knowledge, the document. It must be complete. What does it mean to be complete? That's like hard coded, as it were, or that might come from. I think that comes from this knowledge base, and certainly, obviously for today, it could be hard coded or simulated. The point is, what does it mean to be complete? Oh, I was just kind of like, playing around. So if this is like, ship and app, I was running vibes.diy. This is open source. I was running Lovable. This is whoa. Let's see. It's not. Oh, technical document. Oh, okay. It's letting me rewrite. So if this technical document, oh, here we go. So this is like ship our product, right? Launch our product, let's say, right? So the product owner asked for that. Is that going to work? Are you going to let me edit it? I don't want to play with a generator at the moment. So whatever. So then this introduction might say, I don't know, like coding, right? Let me get rid of this background. Let me like build the document. I was going to just draw it on paper, but it's not clear. I'm not sure how to kind of easily. I wish I had like a mirror. If I had a mirror, could I just mirror my my drawings or another camera? I'm not sure how to easily do it. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. So these are the steps, let's say, I think. These are the things to be done. If you want to ship your product, which is this technical document, it appears to be uneditable or whatever, but fine. Like like beta testing, I don't know. Let me keep it real kind of broad. Coding, deploy, right? Testing, confirm, let's say, which is a little broader than testing. And then like what? Like report back, maybe? Are these higher level? I don't care. Coding, deploy. I know what else. Okay, good. Yeah, that's about right. Coding, deploy. And wasn't there what was the note someone said? What am I in ChatGPT? No. What was that plan? Confirm. Yeah, confirm. Confirm was one of the feedback from the community that I'm seeing, and I think that's huge. So plan, build, and confirm. So is this so big that we need to plan to make the plan? I think no. No. Plan. This is the output of the plan, so that's fine. So then this is the build. And then the confirm needs to be in the plan. Yeah, I think it works. So there's coding, there's deploy. How do I like add a let me get out of here. This is enough to like stimulate it. Let me draw. I will draw a tree in just my editor. Yeah. Markdown. Yeah, let's just throw it in the whiteboard. Like launch my product, right? Okay. So we gotta do some. Do we have to do like design? I mean, everyone knows you don't just start with coding. Are there mock-ups? Are there design? I mean, it's not necessary that a mockup be like, a Figma file. It could be an HTML mockup. Let me think. Because the idea was start from nothing. So this is really easy if you say, well, here's my code base. We're going to launch it. I guess what I'm saying is, like, if this were a real team, you wouldn't launch into the cloud too much, mostly because it's more time cost than like money cost, I guess. But you wouldn't launch into the, like, say, a cloud. You wouldn't deploy without like any testing, I think. So then it's like, well, are we doing internal testing? Does the human user need to like test? And then I'm thinking, well, it doesn't take time to actually push it to the cloud. That stuff's all fast. So has that changed the way that prototyping and, testing works? In other words, like concretely, if you say, oh, test this, like that's the dev site. I think that's what I'm going to do. It's the dev site. You test on you test on staging. The human tests on staging. And this like dev prod staging, what's the name? Is there like a name? What do they call it? Like layered environments or environment. Um, mhm. Let me just ask Claude. Is there something? Yeah, environments, multi-environment architecture. That doesn't sound specific enough. Environment could mean anything. 3 tier, I think that rings a bell more. Although there's a nice one with 4. What is the most common? Like 4. Um, Definitely at work, we would have dev prod staging and then like demo, which would just be this other one. QA, dedicated environment for QA. Let me think. Yeah. Or typically the way I've seen it too, like with open source or something, is like staging and prod are these sort of well-known URLs, and then like there may or may not be dev. But the point is like, any branch in Git can become a deployment artifact or URL or something. So dev is just your main branch, for example, and so on. So then you have, and then like staging and prod, and it's exactly this. It's like, well, what if 2 people are doing the same? What if 2 people are testing unrelated things? Are we conflicting on dev? These are these are problems that happen to teams with multiple people and schedules to coordinate and stuff. So I don't think this is my problem. Yeah, dev prod staging, and that, yeah, I think part of this is like the theory is make the LLM follow the training, like don't no surprises, everything's as kind of by the book as possible, because it'll be easier to find documentation and documents to provide context. And then also presumably the LLMs are trained up to kind of like follow that, like dev prod staging, gold, silver, bronze, bronze, silver, gold. They're gonna, if you just say that, I think you're gonna trigger like all these, expertise, if you like, on those sorts of activities, that sort of expertise, because it's trained up on whatever books and mailing lists on all that, right? So this is cool. I think you're whatever multi-environment QA, don't care. Okay. So I wonder if I should like indicate. Yeah. I know. I'll indicate like I know what I'll do. It'll be bold if it was my like must have, right? So if we just say you have to develop it, right? Because that may involve whatever. Let me keep going. You have to develop it. Then you have to like, do you have to deploy? Because obviously there's a loop. You know, oh, change the color to blue and push it up to dev. I think that's okay, because these are not necessarily execution steps that are strictly ordered. These are chapters in a document, I think. Okay. Develop, deploy. Oh, let me ask Claude. Let me get a little more outline and then ask it to maybe give me some other ideas I might be. Like testing, let's call it, or is it confirmation? Let's call it, what did I call it just now earlier? I said more than even testing is like confirmation, let's say. And then there's like report back, right? Final report, let's say. So if I were a non-technical CEO, right? If I had my free CTO, got a free CTO, and I say launch my product, I think it's sensible for them to say, okay, well, the first thing I'm going to do is develop it, and then we're going to deploy it, and then you and I think that's the idea there, are going to confirm it. Let me think. No. These are, the only touch point is the final report, the confirmation. The confirmation is of, as it were, our current understanding of the requirements. The confirmation is not that the human has specified the requirements correctly or that the requirements haven't changed or whatever. That's a, as it were, that's a loop outside of this kind of current focus. We are inside that bigger loop, in other words, right now. So the final report just says, here's what I built, here's what I shipped or whatever. Let me think. Okay. So these are like little tasks, right? And last night, to the extent that I remember anything in that crazy night, wild night, what did they call it? Decomposing? Yeah, they call it task decomposition. Ooh, decomposition and planning. Ooh, nice. They call it decomposition. Yes. Yes, why is no one talking about recursive? So then, what else is there? I don't know. I don't want to learn all that. And then what I want is a Python package. I don't want to like read a paper, implement anything. Increasing these right. These methods struggle with test. Is there a package? Adapt substantially outperforms established strong baseline. So is there like a Python package though? I don't want to like read a paper. I don't want to read a paper. Is there any GitHub or something? Here we go. No, not this link. Stop. Oh, code. Wait, what? Oh, this means there's none? Is that what it is? Bing, what's going on? Wait, why? Why do I have to like turn these on? I don't even understand. Okay, whatever. Google's gonna find it. What is this thing? Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll search it in GitHub. Ooh, adapt? No. Nice. An innovative approach to question answering. Okay, so this trains. So this is not exactly what I want. Okay, let's keep going. I don't want to get too bare. I want to ship some code today, or I want to write some code. It doesn't have to ship, but I want to like basically do one of the agent frameworks. Again, how to know which one is good, if any, or whatever. There's no way to know. Certainly reading Google and stuff and watching others is not it. We got to just write some agents and see how it feels. One's for pen testing. Right. Okay, I'm reading Reddit now. Alice. Step X step. Cool. We'll check it out. What is that? A year later. All right. That's fine. We just want some code. Ooh, 800 commits. What is this? No plans to create. Okay. What is Alice? A platform built on Alice exploits capabilities. Okay. So what is this? Autonomous general purpose. Uh-oh. Artificial intelligence assistant. Oh, they want Jarvis. Okay. Okay, cool. So it's open source Jarvis. Wonderful. Neat. I wonder if they've got some decomposition, like work, some problems solved, you know? Basic computing unit, agent design. Here we go. Yeah, map text from the LM. A list of pattern action pairs, patterns, regular expressions? Whoa. The logic for generating prompts. Variable name, function calls. Okay. Ooh, growing like a tree. I was just gonna browse away. I was just gonna close it. What kind of tree? Not a real tree, not a woody tree, right? Wood. Understand her own code. Self-expansion. New modules, new translation. Software update mechanism? Okay, no. I literally want to build a computer science tree. I don't want to be like a tree. I want a tree. But I want a computer tree. I don't want a wooden tree. Okay. What else we got? Cool. Yes. Neat. Is it not open source? Cascade AI Hub? What is Cascade? Cool. Nice. Sung Heroes. So neat. What do I want here? I guess nothing. If it's not open source, I want to pick up from its... Now, can this thing research? Ideally recursively, right? Let's do it again. So instead of writing and like, instead of the challenge of writing a document, a structured document, and decomposing those tasks, let's see if there's anything in the general purpose area of generic task decomposition. So I could say, great, my task is I need to write a plan to launch some software here. Wait, it's going, right? Oh, shoot. Oh, it's creating its research plan. Before I dive in. Software. But it already made the plan. Oh, okay. Cool. All right. I'd say as far as branding, now that I'm a like new Claude user, new Claude, guy, number one like brand to me is these little cheeky, we're starting up the engines, all these little like references, all these little kind of retro little words, like when Claude Code runs. All right, let's let this research. I'm gonna let my kid in. My kid needs a print. So in the spirit of Zoom styles, let me. Okay. Oh, this research is gonna take a second. All right, Amazon. Oh, and something else I'm thinking of doing is search GitHub, right? Yeah, get on GitHub. Ooh, AutoGen, interesting. Okay, let's get on GitHub. Try the same thing. Quiet. Task. Uh-huh. Ooh. Wait, HTN, is that my note? Was that the acronym? Whatever. Okay. Click, click, click. Neat. 11 commits 10 months ago. Yeah. All right, let's kind of learn from that. Let me flesh out more of my this launch, right? How this would work. I want to like simulate, just like we've done all our lives. I want to simulate what the software would do. So the point is, it's like recursively expanding this tree, right? So I would punch in, for example, and that would be like, I don't know, the web app, right? Like, so inside this develop step would also be its own, like, basically plan. I guess plan is never in there. Like the point is, yes, the plan is happening, but it's it's only done at like the beginning, as it were. So let me see if, so I don't think we need to do the testing, or sorry, I don't think we need to do the planning. We need to do the, what is it? Build the web app. I want to, it's a whiteboard. Let's keep going. Like deploy it, let's say, or not deploy it. Build it. What else is there besides develop and building it? I guess like confirm it's like the correct like tech stack or something. Then from deploying, if deploy were like expanded, so that would definitely be, so here's where we start getting into stuff. So like I want to say like dev prod staging, right? Must have like dev staging prod, right? So, or maybe that's in the development. Let me move that, right? That's a good thing to like. So there's the web app, and then there's the dev staging prod. There's the dev staging prod, like, what am I trying to say? Like code structure, right? Like Terraform, basically. Let's say. And then in deploy, the reason is like step one would be like push to dev, you know? And then what? Again, what else is there besides confirmation? Push to dev. Maybe like do a backup? No. like often there's like code stuff to do or something like that. Let's actually say like do any, I'm not sure. I believe this can be captured. This was the point. Like the scope of DevOps is just like so much bigger than, I want my app to look like this or do something like that. Let's keep going, even though it's daunting. It's daunting. Okay, so push to dev, like prep any new data or something like that. I don't know what I'm trying to say. What else? Deploy. Right, usually have to like push new. I know what I'll do. Let me just do question mark. I'll ask the LLM. Like, oh, isn't there like a code review, right? Code review. There's a code review. And then in the code review, yeah, double check correct tech stack. Is there anything else? I don't know, something else. That's what would happen in the development step, right? Dev prod staging, code review, deploy, push to dev. Let me think. Yeah, I'll leave question marks. So this confirmation is a big one. This is like all the responsibility of the tool needs to be confirmed. In other words, don't tell the human something that has not been explicitly confirmed. Or actually, I know, tell the human nothing but that which has been confirmed, right? That's actually worth writing down. Okay, confirm, deploy. So then what is confirmed? Like correct operation of the app, right? If we're, let's see, we're gonna like simulate, I guess you'd have to like simulate like all of the major personas, right? Would it actually click? It's hard to say. In a like day one project, you would want to kind of just manually log in maybe. But I don't know, is this changing the entire, as a project get more mature, you would develop in all sorts of like, automated testing and personas, and you could do end-to-end testing, you can deploy stuff, you can test stuff on staging, all sorts of fun, like end-to-end tests. And those are kind of like inappropriate in the early days. I believe like that evolution, that journey could be captured and like implemented in this system somehow. That's kind of an example when I was thinking of like a human would just sort of think it over on the drive to work or something, and say, I think it's time for us to build in some, testing of personas or whatever. We're gonna have Selenium tests. We're gonna have Puppeteer tests of our product, right? And then we're gonna have some seed data or some, whatever you call it. We're gonna have some mock data or some sanitized data, and we're gonna, run through lots and lots of things like that to confirm various things. This is Vibe DevOps, not DevOps. With coding, you might like be thoughtful and do some design thinking and do some feedback and things like this before you code, or you could just ship some code. So I kind of feel like I should have the same flexibility. So bold means like it's been kind of hard coded, it's coming in from above. I've basically seeded it into the knowledge base or something. Because the thought is, like I said this yesterday, oh yeah, this was my light bulbs. The tree is built top down, right? But it's a tree, so it's built left to right in this, like on my screen here. It's, the only thing that's exists for sure is launch the product. Oh, develop is like mandatory. That's going to be my guidance, let's say. Sure. Yeah, I think I kind of like this. And the idea is, can I coach an agent, or can I write an agent to like build out this outline pretty much in a dynamic way and in an interactive way for some part. Oh, in fact, let's see. If I say launch my product, no, no, no. Writing the plan is not part of the plan. I don't want to get like meta. So the point is, the requirements, when it's time for the software to like think up this plan, the requirements are presumably like extremely clear. They've been gathered. Okay. This is the only document. I want to pull up my. Okay, I think I know exactly what. This is the only document that ends up influencing Claude Code. So the requirements must be in this document. Effectively, they could be referenced or something. So then in the development, maybe there's some requirements here. Like, in other words, like product requirements, you know? So if I say launch my product, it's prompted into the agent, as it were, that development is a step, deployment is a step, and then the agent is going to have to flesh it out and like build more parts, which are obviously non-bold. In fact, I think my idea is only the bold parts of the trees exist as like input, and then the LLM completely fleshes out the entire tree, and those bolds are part of that population in that tree, right? So confirmation. So this one's going to be like super, super like fiat, right? Do I? Am I? Yes. Yeah, let me not overthink like that. What else would confirmation do? I mean, my original idea was like load testing. I don't know if that's. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Or like what other kind of like UAT testing? What am I trying to say? Or load testing could be NFR testing. Like confirm NFRs. Something like that. Confirm the correct operation of the tool. Simulate all major personas. That would be a sub. Right. Exactly. Confirm all NFRs. I guess one of my steps I was going to say, mandatory step, fetch the I mean, I wanted to fetch the cost, right? I want to say this is how much it costs to launch all this. Aha. I think in the development step, okay. I'll leave it. What did I want to capture? A big thing of this is I want this thing to show, I mean, I want it to show me a plan before kicking off all this, and specifically say like it's going to be, Docker, it's going to be JavaScript. I want to see that plan right? The thought was to ask Deerflow to do it. I haven't tested Deerflow, but I think Deerflow's like research and synthesis. I doubt out of the box it'll do like a DevOps plan. I think I'm gonna have to put in the hard work to make these things do a DevOps plan. And it's just occurring to me like the space, the scope of all DevOps is so broad. Like you could almost always think of sort of two conflicting approaches and circumstances where it makes sense, like use Git or don't use Git, or, use COBOL or don't use COBOL, or like it's so there's always it's always possible the human could say, well, here's what we're doing. We're embedding inside this like legacy data center and it's all COBOL. But so it's really tough to say like what does it mean to accomplish DevOps? What does it mean to accomplish DevOps? What would it mean to prepare a system, for generic DevOps? But I think for now, it's okay to just say, GitHub, the basic big clouds, big languages like Python or JavaScript. I think that's fine to constrain the scope now. And it should be somewhat clear how to expand the scope if and when that time ever came. All right, what is this? Oh yeah, Deerflow, search engines, private knowledge. Okay, let's get out of Deerflow. What was this? Fetch. What was I fetching? Confirm all NFRs. Oh, the idea was to like submit the final report. Yeah. Nothing but that which has been confirmed. I want to talk about money. A CEO asks the CTO something. CTO is going to want to answer back in dollars, right? Okay. So it's day one. There's no like recurring costs. So it's got to be, I guess, yeah, is it an estimate? And then you confirm it. It's just an estimate. So the architecture's totally known because the estimated price is known. And if let me think. Right. So this gets to my point of like building this tree top down, like the develop step. There's a long time where the only thing in the tree is develop. And the reason is the LLM is fleshing out that tree. It's kind of going deeper into that tree. The reason for that is because it's got to plan the architecture like from high level abstract kind of general approach all the way down to super specific, commands to run. And that plan has to be so thorough that you can estimate the cost, right? That's the point. Someone says, I want to do blah, blah, blah. I need to respond back to them. Okay, that would cost you, 100 USD to a cloud vendor, right? That's the point. It has to roll all that up into a US dollar, let's say, like proposal, right? It has to ask for permission to spend $100, monthly, or to get, to commit to $100 a month expense, right? It has to ask for permission. It has to ask for permission. When I ask it, do something for me, it must think a lot. It's going to be in the interactive step. It's actually right after the interactive step. After the interactive step, I think like as UX wise, it's going to say, well, now I need to think for like, it's going to have to do a lot of inference. It's going to have to, there's going to be a lot of pulling knowledge base, running it through the LLM, writing a plan, all of that. I think it's going to practically speaking kind of take a little time. The product owner is going to be staring at a spinner. But there must be a step in between interactive mode and oh, there it is, planning process. In between interactive mode, there must be a presentation to the human, a proposal. Yeah, proposal. I think there has to be a proposal. Is it insane? Let me think. Is Vibe DevOps, is there proposals in Vibe DevOps? I think so. I think it works. A proposal. And that proposal, I did have some ideas here. So the cost is definitely in there, right? Like monthly cost, right? Recurring cost. Like you can't use a platform until you can estimate the cost. God, that's so... This is going to be hard. Like, well, what's the cost? Well, it's the cloud. The cost depends on the volume. Well, what's the volume? Only the human can say, right? Or, well, I guess you could kind of speculate. But the human might say, we just got $1 million investment. I mean, hire a human for goodness sake. But the human might say, we got $1 million. We're going to advertise a lot and get a lot of volume. I don't know. The PO must be able to say, this is the resources we're going to want to use, the requirements. So this is the output we need. And then the free CTO needs to say, well, this is the cost it would take to service that, right? Let me think. So it's a proposal. The cost is definitely in there. What else is in there? Like the basic approach, like very high level, like solution architecture, basically. Mm-hmm. Like Azure, like cloud, like let's just say hosting, like services used, like hosts, services used, hosts, or platforms / services used. What else? So yeah, like major programming language or stuff the CEO cares about. Oh, okay. Well, if I'm going to recruit people, I need to know whether to tell them it's JavaScript or Python. At least these are the old conversations we used to have. Tech stack, like platform services used, like tech stack, let's just say. All right, so we're going to go AWS and we're going to do, a streaming architecture using Java, right? And it's going to cost this much. And I thought I was going to come in here and say, what is it? Like estimated, I was going to try to say like volume, right? Let's just say impact. Boom, impact assessment, impact statement, impact, like business impact, right? Actually, business impact goes first. Mm-hmm. So that means like, what does it accomplish? What does it accomplish? Why is that good? That's basically your impact. Basically. Actually, I mean, really, it's why is it both good and why is it directly responsive to the PO's request? It's like, this is what you asked for, and it's going to work, right? You got to say both of those. What does it accomplish? How it is responsive to the request. Let's just put it in like the PO requirements, basically. How it suits and why that, what does it accomplish? And like quantify or identify. Do I want to identify the value? Nah. That's not the free CTO's job, identify the value. It don't matter if I don't care if the LLM understands why this is good. I don't care if the LLM can state that. I don't think anyone cares. The question is, did you do what I said or not? And so the answer is yes. Okay. So here is my proposal. This is what we're going to accomplish. This is why this works, how it suits the requirements, and why. Like, something like that. So after we talk, oh, I hate these. Right. After we talk, then it noodles and it says, go get some coffee. I'll be back with a proposal. You get your coffee. It's got its proposal. The proposal is basically this entire plan. This is why this tree has to be top down. Let's see. We will not push to dev, but we will plan to push to dev, right? We will write down push to dev, right, in a text file. We will not. But furthermore, I know we will not define deploy until it's necessary, right? It's like lazy evaluation. This tree is like lazy evaluated, right? And so the develop, I think, plan is going to be deeper. It's going to be built out. For example, like in this development plan, it has to say in there the sort of web app that checks all the requirements. That must be written in here. This is the only input to Claude Code. So is the entire is there like a reference? Is there like a appendix? This is the entire Jira archive. This is the entire story. And again, it's not necessary to store this data structure like this or whatever. It's not necessarily needs to happen that way, but I do believe that this model, I mean, basically, I believe the agents are going to build this in memory, more or less, or build out parts of it or something. All right, so if I launch my product, so I have to, the plan to launch my product, right? First, we're going to develop. What does it mean to develop? Yes. Must have staging. Must have code review. Yes. It's interesting. So if I cut this tree, is code review a top level section here? Or is it woven into the requirements, because if I cut this tree, hypothetically, you know, I'm prompting Claude Code to build the app following like the UI requirements, that app might be unsuitable for dev staging prod. Often, for example, there's like an environment variable that specifies dev staging prod, and it's built into the app front end, right? And it's similar on the back end, something like that. So this could still work, though. Again, if we're just willing to kind of burn some tokens, you could build the app and like check that in, and then kind of move to the next requirement and say, whoops, it's got to be dev staging prod. I mean, this is like build the product, like the core product, right? Oh, maybe if it is like an ordered sequence, maybe this comes first. Maybe there's like dev staging prod, like hello world on Terraform. Interesting. And then, but if there must be dev staging prod on Terraform, then there's the core prod. It would, as it were, like check all that into the Git repo, right? Is there a sub node that's like choose a cloud, right? Or choose a provider, right? Choose a platform provider, right? Whatever you want to call it. So the platform provider must be chosen in order to estimate the cost, right? Let me think. No. Choosing a platform provider. Okay. Choosing a platform provider comes in it is not an interactive mode, or it might be. I think they're going to say, I don't care, right? They're going to say, I don't care. Or, I mean, more likely all these like startups and these incubators and stuff, they all have like they all get credits with a cloud. And so they do say, oh yeah, it actually matters to me that we deploy it. We got thousands of free credits on Google. So we want to be a Google shop. But let me not wind around, twist around in circles too much. So during this proposal step, yeah, I'm like missing a huge part of it, right? Proposal back to the human. So then there's a phase. There's two independent modes. Let me think. Augment hard-coded milestones. Continue building the tree top down. This is just the planning step, right? This is only the planning process. So before a proposal has to happen, it has to think, right? So let's call it phase 2. Yeah, I think this is it. Phase 2, like high level prep, let's say, right? And so what does high level prep looks like? High level prep looks like complete the plan such that the proposal can be what am I trying to say? Complete the plan. Okay, so this is independent high level prep. So complete the plan such the proposal complete the plan. Enough of the plan. Complete enough of the plan. To finish the proposal. Basically, right? Right? Boom, boom, boom. That's it. So hopefully I can say like, all right, this is the proposal that's due. And again, if we can get into this like task what do they call it? Decomposition. If I can say, all right, I have to have this business impact. I have to have the high level solution architecture. Or maybe the business impact is not, that could be the high level solution architecture, obviously. Right. High level solution architecture, right? And cost. Let's say, whatever. Yeah. Okay. So we Q&A. It asks, God, again, I can't believe there's not like, this is the kind of information. There's a data model where I say the things I need to know, and then I just let it chat with the human, and there's some fun chat, and it's dynamic, and it's, it's never the same twice. And then I just get back a dictionary full of trues and falses and numbers and things. Why doesn't this exist? I'm gonna have to find that. I do not want to write like a conversational, chat agent, and I don't think I want to write like this thing I'm describing. It seems out of scope to go from a like generic, metadata, a list of information I need to know, to a conversation to gather all of that. I mean, I could do a janky version or something. All right. So the proposal, so then this is phase 3, right? Let me click over my thing. Just practice my thing. Is that right? What do I want? LLM. Okay, good. I want to get into this task decomposition, but yeah, maybe let me move over, get excited again. All right, phase 1, interactive mode. Q&A where they answer questions, ascertain scope, ask the current status, ask the constraints. So this question here, let me write this down. Are we in the whiteboard? Let me whiteboard out some like, what is it? Free? It's not free CTO. It's free startup CTO. Yeah. Startup CTO and CTO are totally different. All right. Let me think. I'm just gonna whiteboard out a quick. So here's the thing for like interactive mode. Like must have like interactive mode question, right? Something like that. Scope, right? Current status, I don't remember. Yeah, just general, like broad operational context, like business circumstances, or like user personas, like user, the basic broad operational context. Let me maybe kind of move it. Scope, current status, constraints, budget. Maybe like scope, what I'm trying to think, I'm trying to distinguish between short-term and long-term. I want to kind of ask like, what's your long-term vision? What, to set the direction? That's cool. That's cool. Because if someone says, I want to like spin up a crypto company and flip it or whatever, I'd say, great, we're taking on technical debt. If you're going to be acquired by a team with tons of money, that's your strategy. Get something flashy in tech debt. On the other hand, if it's like, we're never going to have investors, we're going to self-fund, I would say, do not take too much tech debt. Don't take the risk of falling behind your customer support, right? Or keeping up. So it matters. Different lines of code will be written depending on different long-term kind of strategies for this thing, I think, ultimately. It trickles down. What else? Okay, scope, current status. I think I got broad operational. Yeah, constraints. Like data homing. Prefer a specific like infrastructure vendor, right? Budget. Let's stop there. And so here's the next like. Here's the next thing. I might even ask Claude Code to research this for, or Claude rather, to research this for me as well. Any LM powered software package, any language, right? To help me interactively, like what, gather information from a user. For example, I know exactly what I want. Given the below like data structure, like it, I'm hoping to like initialize it, and then a chat ensues, right? To flesh out to flesh out to fill in, right? Let's try that. These are the sorts of tools I feel like this should have been shipped and maturing years ago, or a year or two ago, and on multiple programming languages by now. I was expecting to see like, oh, that Python one's real good, we're stealing that approach and we're doing it in Ruby now and JavaScript. Unless I'm just an absolute fool on like researching the web, GitHub. Right? No. For information, right? For like survey, right? Chatbot conversational form. I think now I saw one of these AI chat survey. This could be it. LLM survey. Not sure. Chat-based survey app, maybe. Survey's a little off, but it could be interesting. MLOps. I definitely don't see like a pip package, which I would hope. All right, where was I? Oh shoot, did I forget to put it in deep research? Let's see what it found. Pydantic AI. Agent framework. I mean, yeah, thank you. Are they like, God, it feels corrupt. I'm asking for totally unrelated stuff, and literally every answer to every question is you need to sign up for so and so's agentic framework. It's driving me crazy. This is not what I asked at all. Okay, ooh, instructor library. Instructor is the most popular. Extracting structured data from large language model. Cool. Okay, I don't think is what I need. This is like offline. This is extracting out of Ooh. Oh. Okay. Let me keep this on the queue here. Let's keep looking. That's neat. Automatic retries. Pydantic. Yeah, I was for implementation. I was thinking do it Pydantic maybe. Okay. LangChain with structured output agents. With structured output that automates process. Yeah, I mean, part of this is like, outputting syntax that's JSON or whatever. This is. I think this is worth looking at. Mm-hmm. Create structured chat agent. This might be it. Create structured chat agent. How old is this? Okay. Tools. Okay. God, maybe I'll just write my agent. I feel like this should not be, writing an agent is assembler programming. I wish I were C programming or, not to say nothing of, Perl programming or something, shell programming, right? I don't want to write my own agent. I kind of don't want to use LangChain. Let's do it though. This is just NIH. This is just NIH instincts. This is just negative human instincts. We just got to shake this off. This is no big deal. This is just natural instincts. Let's read a little LangChain. Okay. Cool. Agent action, agent finish. Scratchpad. Prompt missing vars. Right. Okay. Checks if the prompt has the required input. Yeah. It partially applies the prompt with the tools and tool names. It binds the stop condition to the language model following instruction. I don't know. Okay. I may go look into Copilot Kit. I think I'm a little overdue to read. How is Copilot Kit? That seems like another one might be in scope or adjacent to the scope of Copilot Kit. And people might do it. Conversational form libraries. That was definitely it. Java bit. Yeah, transforming traditional forms into conversational experience. Yeah, of course it does. Totally. LangChain 4J. Quarkus? Definitely. Let's see what this is. Cool. Look, they're apologizing that it's Java. How dare you? Don't apologize that it's Java. Look at you. I said any language. Oh, dear. Okay. Boy, I tell you what, like a Chrome extension that let me be like, oh my God, help me get through this form. And it's like a close your eyes Chrome, it just talks voice. I would personally love that. I would love to close my eyes and say, oh dear, another form. These things are like, it's like looking into the sun. I hate these things. And then it would say, well, all right. We got your name and stuff. What's your whatever? Work cell phone number. All right, what are we doing here? Back to basics. Yes. Honestly, what would make me the most excited and like the most likely to write a ton of code would be to get in a chat, get in an LLM, and ask it to mock up. This is always what excites me. Mock up the developer's user experience, right? Like mock up some kind of example code of the developer using the tool. And then when I see it, I'm like, yes, 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 I can like debug the rest of this into existence, you know? Mm-hmm. So for function calling, let's look again. God, all this stuff's hard to search. It's not, I don't want to gather from the internet. I want to gather from, woo, LLM OS, nice. I want to gather from people. I'm going to stop search. I've been searching the web for days now. I'm getting a little sick of reading the web and thinking deep thoughts. I want to write some code. Python's top driver. Okay, yeah, instructor. Let's get on this. Most extracting structured data from large language. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't. Let's. Yikes. Okay, 1,000 commits. Oh, let me turn my face back on, just for fun. 1,000 commits. Uh-huh. Reliable JSON. The problem is I need it to like follow up. I mean, I want it to be like a person. I want it to say, what's the budget? And for me to say, I don't know, let me, call someone and ask. And for then it to say, okay, what's your favorite color? Or whatever the other relevant question is, you know? And then like later on in that conversation, or it can say, like a human, it would say like, well, all right, let me know when you know what color, or let me know when you know your budget, right? Just respond to this chat, right? Tactically. So then I respond to the chat and I say, budget's 100 USD. And it says, thanks. I got everything I know. I'm gonna make your proposal now, right? That's exactly, and it should just be conversational, and it should just kind of come and go. Or again, like a conversation, it should be able to say, by the way, I still need to know that, budget. Or, oh, okay, go to your dentist appointment and remember, I need to know the budget from you before I can move forward, right? That was, I wish I could just pass a dictionary. I've explained what I wish. Okay, reliable JSON. All right, so I've thought out kind of what I really dream that the UI would be. That's your CT4 right there. All right, let me stop talking about myself and reading. Yes. Mm-hmm. Right. Totally. God, Pydantic. So awesome. Okay. Correct. Wonderful. I do like this. Now, once again, everyone's trying to tap into that one, as it were, like connection to your LLM, that low level connection, that API. These are all going to conflict. In other words, I'm going to have to think hard and maybe program hard to make, instructor play well with any other agents or any other systems. They're all completely ignorant of each other. So if I go to my mockup, where was that? Or not my mockup, my real screenshot. It's in here. My chat is in here. Like I should be just telling it here in the chat. That's the point. LM survey. Man, do they have validation? I would love to do LLM validation. I would love to say like, not only is this a string, but it's only valid, for example, if it's a common, name in any sense. Or for mine specifically, I would say like, the scope is only valid, or the like product requirements are only valid if, they could plausibly be implemented in a software system, something like that. So like if they say like it's a time machine, then this thing could say that's invalid input effectively, right? That fails the validation check at some point, and time machine doesn't work. And the reason is I've got a validation rule. This is the sort of thing I do not want to prompt out by hand. It'll never come together prompting it out by hand. I think I'm kind of learning already, even though I've written like no code. I kind of don't like um, low level prompting anymore. It's like assembler code. It's just, I'm sick of it. I don't want to do it ever again. It was fun the first, the first couple of runs, of like string concatenate, all the low stuff. So this is awesome. And this is cool if they support different LLMs, then they've done all the hard work of, all those LLMs have their own, conceptually identical, but like idiosyncratic mechanisms to move structured data back and forth and all that. It's great. So now somebody chatted to me. Somebody chatted to me the other day, said, what are you working on? I missed it. I gotta see my chats. I'm not really like a streamer. I just stream the video, but I should like explain the project more and stuff. Anyway, let's keep going. Instructor, how many? This is like a legit serious project. Let's keep going. Complex JSON schema. So maybe I want a complex JSON schema. It's not clear to me if it could be a simple like tree. It could be, I was even thinking it's the implementation of this tree is like restructured text files, like basically the exact same input that Sphinx uses, which is directory structure with restructured text files in there. And that's your tree structure. So I wonder, like nested JSON is basically what I'm saying. My tree is these nested objects. Okay. Right. Wait, without instruct. Yes. Yes. Yes, I know. Yes, exactly. Is that this is the new API. Yeah. Oh God. The newer one. Oh God. All right. Yeah, one day. Oh God. Create role user. Wait, what? Client equals instruction. User equals. Okay. The response model. Cool. Wait, client dot chat dot complacence dot create. Oh, that's an instructor. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. So it's an instructor object, of course. So they wrap it. Cool. Now this is neat in that, like, I actually like applause, massive kudos to this team for like not saying agent more than you should. Yeah. What is that? Is that like Claude.md? What is agent.md? Whoa. Cool. I'll find out. And then there, yeah, it was just, I thought this said Gemini. It says Gen AI. Oh, is Gemini from Gen AI? Is that the joke? Is it a little pun? Gemini, Gen AI. Decimals. Extract precise decimal values from financial calculations. Right. Cool. All right, show me some more. This is fun. Instructor, structured outputs for LLMs. Okay. Right, I could run some code. I could ask Claude to write me up a little demo also. Failed validations are automatically retried with the error method. Before I forget, like logging. Let me just forget it. I don't care. Now, the only thing that's not clear to me, because this thing's not an agent, I'm going to look into Copilot Kit, and then I think I'm just going to more or less pick a random agent framework and build an agent myself. And again, if I think I've put in the due diligence to try to find, something, or I will have put in the due diligence sufficient to just say, all right, I'm doing it myself now. This might work here. This validator is awesome, but the big one is that it needs to be like conversationally and flowy. And I bet if I click over from the like Pydantic and data validation world up into these more, up into these other agents, I've been disappointed more or less every time, but I'm expecting it's pretty easy to make them loquacious and like verbose and chatty, and in particular interactive, responsive, interactive, and like driving to as like extract all the information, driving to completion. All right. Features. Automatic retries. Okay. Retried. What does it mean to retry though? Instructor automatically max retries is 3, yes. Age must be positive. Interesting. I wonder if it feeds back this value error into the subsequent executions. That wouldn't be too hard to do, and I think that would make it really powerful. Otherwise, wouldn't it just potentially, just be an expensive series of 3 crashes in a row? It'd be like, don't really want streaming. Here we go, nested. Okay. So a user has a list of addresses. Ooh. That's cool. That's cool. You can turn some text into a nested, like data structure. That's cool. I do like that. That is cool. That's neat. So that's like ready for an insert or a GraphQL, what do they call it? Mutation, right? It's ready to go. That's cool. 100,001. I trust y'all. I'm building the README for an AI application. This is so interesting. The thing about YC startups is, God bless them, but they're like very, very high risk appetite people. That's the like brand of YC and startups, and especially that early seed round, that's like ramen noodle stuff. That's ramen noodle people. They eat ramen noodles and they're competing with me. So I'm not sure I'd want to brag that my software is like really, really well regarded by people who, are like the digital equivalent of, base jumpers or cliff divers or something. I just want to make that point. These are all like, I think, awesome. I buy it. I love it. I totally love it. So what else? There was nested. I guess the only thing I want to understand, multiple languages. Speaking of multiple languages, I bet this thing could extract out like Thai super easy. Versus raw JSON, no. Yeah, it's way lighter weight. You don't have to get married to a platform. I don't even want to do custom. What's the difference between raw JSON and custom? Oh, the LLM running in JSON mode, of course. Cool. Yeah, validation. Yeah, I've written a lot of code like this, and that validation's tedious. You can get just bad syntax. You can just invalid JSON all the way through to like invalid values for sure. And then it'll like nest wrong, and the more complex. I think that's why Pydantic's supposed to be helpful. Is Pydantic's better than like JSON or JSON schema or whatever, their own systems. Good first issues. Oh, very nice. Very cool. Oh, dang. I wonder if this thing should track, track issues or whatever, but let's keep going. Let's not. That's a good point. Or that's a good like team norm to do. All right. The only thing that's not totally clear to me is like, oh, I think it is clear. I think it is clear. The answer is no, it does not do what I'm asking. It does not chat back to users. And by it, I mean these instructor objects or whatever. Maybe there's more to the API, which that's cool. Super tight scope, super tight scope. They wrap, I mean, it's really, really like as simple as you can get for like, let me see. So are there any examples? Yeah, let's check some examples now. Okay, Anthropic Web, I don't know. Let's start simple. Cohere. Oh, is there any like chat or anything? Chain of density? That's pretty cool. It's more about chatting. FizzBuzz. Implement. Knowledge graph. Try knowledge graph. That might be one of the more logging. Jeez. SQL model. No, ooh, task planner. Whoa, very interesting. Very interesting. Watson X. Okay. Let's look at some examples. Improved documentation. Okay. Nice. What am I looking at? Consists of, has applications in. Okay. Oh, okay. This is specific to the knowledge graph thing, so I don't want to necessarily. Iteration 0. Jason is a professor, is a physicist, knows quantum mechanics. Okay, so it's building up a knowledge graph. I think I don't. It's not clear to me why I need a knowledge graph right now. And again, I think these LLMs have like kind of made obsolete some of these special purpose data structures, like to some extent regular expressions, you know. I know they're like probabilistic versus deterministic and all that, and like regular expressions. But okay, cool. I do not. I don't. Let me not. I don't want to do that. Logging. Let's see what logging says. Pydantic. User detail. Oh, cool. Okay, cool. Parse the logs, or don't parse the logs. Uh, like inference the logs, right? Extract Jason is 25 years old. Wait, what? String and age. So this is like the hello world example. It's not totally clear to me, but whatever. Let's see. Right. I think this might like I don't know what I don't know if this is a paradigm example. Let's keep going. Task planner. This is the big one I wanted. Erdantic. We're Googling it. What's Erdantic? Sounds awesome. Oh, entity relationship. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Wait, for drawing specifically? Oh, yeah, it's like for drawing. Okay, cool. I guess that's why it's in the diagram code. Wonderful. So it's a drawer. So task planner topological sort. There it is. Yep. Is this what came out? Okay. Now I don't want to model tasks. Let's keep going. Let's read the code. Task planning and execution using topological sort. If subtests for different parent tests start in parallel, right? Right. So they model out task results. Okay. A task. Okay. I see. Okay, let me read. Uh, right. Single task in a task plan. Okay, right. ID. So then there's the task, and then there's a list of fields, list of the IDs of subtasks. Okay. Oh, yikes. It's a list of IDs. I was just thinking, I don't know. I know I'm almost certain in Pydantic. So I guess what I would do is define or like implement a tree in a Pydantic model. I think that's and then instruct if I did that. So where's my plan? Yeah, yeah. So if this plan were implemented with like like node kinds of objects in Pydantic, like a node in a graph, then this tool might help. But like I'm never gonna pass, it's only ever gonna work on a subtree. I'm not sure if that help. I'm not sure this tool would work. I'm not sure if that working would help. That's the problem. I guess I want to see about validation maybe, because if I could validate with an LLM, um, uh-oh, that's the end of the project. Let's keep going. Let's keep learning. I don't want to pass these projects lightly. Yeah, strong commits. What is this? Oh, I see. Right. Instructor, async instructors. No, I don't see like another API. Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Is there any other, where's the like full documentation? Is there a link to the full documentation? Is there full documentation? Okay, if there's not, then I think we're good. Automatic retries. Mm-hmm. Oh, I could definitely call an LLM. It's just my own definition here. Yeah, I could definitely call an LLM. Of course. Cool. I could totally call an LLM right there. Neat. Okay. All right, so that's kind of neat. I could easily use an LLM to validate fields. I don't know how much that buys me, but I get it. But mostly I can do that because Pydantic lets me do that, not so much from instructor. And then I just pass it my model. Okay, good. I think I understand instructor. Chatbot conversational form. Let's see. So 7 commits 2 years ago. Demo project, interactive forms. Yeah, I mean, this is what I would have to. I'm going to have to just cowboy up some, kind of heuristic logic. I assume that's more or less what this code does. Yeah. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Okay, Pydantic model. Cool. Right. Basically coded up some heuristics him or herself. Details. Yeah. Conversation. Right. And then off you go. Prompt. Uh-huh. Oh, and then we're off with the Streamlit stuff. Okay. Right, right, right. Okay. Is it Streamlit? Oop. Yeah. So good. Next, AI chat survey. Right. Okay. All right. I agree, though. That is it. Okay. I don't need the full stack, though. I really want something that's like event driven, or something like that. Asynchronous. Actually, I want something asynchronous. Will not only collect responses, but also. Hmm. Whoa, 200 commits. Is it like one person? Let's see. Is it just gonna be this? Oh, whoa. Oh, cool. There's some healthy. Got some open source here. Got some open source. Yeah. Yikes. Database. Yikes. Okay. Oh, Docker Compose. Neat. Okay, okay. So it builds up Docker. Let's see. Is there anything I want to like see if I can quickly learn? Let's see this back end. Uh-huh. Let's see. This is going to be boilerplate, right? Oh no, this does stuff. API, okay. Health check. What is this? Flask? Is it Flask or is it Fast API? Flask. Yep. Okay. V1 Health. V1 admins. Okay. Whoop. Surveys. Yeah, this is really tightly coupled. It's connecting into SQL in a like in a method handler or in a request handler, which is totally fine for Flask, but yeah, I want something way lightweight and like event driven, something like that, asynchronous. That's exactly what I'm. Okay, 20 commits 9 months ago. Exploring large language. Oh, I feel my caffeine kicking in. I want more. This is awesome. I'm getting excited. I'm like those. What is the animal? Is it the elephants? What's the animal where they like march across the desert, and then when they can smell water like 100 miles away, or I forget, 10 miles away, whatever, they get their energy and they pick up the pace. What is it? Attenborough is saying, "Oh, they can smell it." I can smell a little build coming up here, and I think I'm gonna ask, "Hey, what would a cool interface look like that's scratches my itch? That's perfect for me." And I think I might get something fun. Too bad I can't do it in Ruby, but so let's finish so that we can start research paper. Okay. Yep. And what is this? Okay. 19 commits 2 months ago. Conversational survey platform, Fast API plus SQL Alchemy. Every interview. That's cool. Through LangGraph? Whoa. That's really interesting. What is the LangGraph? Is the LangGraph? Survey agent. Okay. Survey graph. Survey agent. Okay. Let's go pull that up. This is interesting. Backend, was it? I've already forgotten. Was it survey graph? Yeah, and then the survey agent was a class in here or something. Hey, how do I see my classes? There we are. Survey. There we are. So there should be a class, did it say? Or was it a function survey agent? There it is. Cool. Okay. Start survey. Initial state. Okay, so it's an agent. It's got a state. Off we go. Current question. Okay, I don't want there to be a current question for sure. That's what I meant by I have to go to the dentist's office and I'll let you know when I'm done. That natural kind of conversation I want to support by not having a current question. There's just are we ready or are we not, right? And you could just you could ask an LLM that easily. And by you, I mean me. So good. So that rules this out. This is super, super validating though. Neat, neat, neat. Skipped. Right. And this is proper survey. I'm not doing a survey really. Okay. Really awesome. So instructor is legit. I'm keeping the tab open for a second here. All right. Ask permission. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know I can roll it myself. I know. I don't want to. There's instructor. Oh, great. Let's see. Name, email, missing fields, next question. No. No. Uh-huh. Lang chain, structured agent, structured chat agent. Actually, that's worth thinking about before I do too much NIH. You help users fill out forms by asking for missing information conversationally. Uh-huh. Agent scratchpad. What? Okay. And then where's the like data? Where's the like data definition? Here it is. Okay. Right, base model. Mm-hmm. Name and email. What does it return? Yeah, it returns the agent. That agent has not yet returned the data. Oh, of course, because I let it run. Okay. 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 Even though I'm not in love with LangChain, this deserves attention. This deserves attention. Okay. Doc Wrangler. Cool. Conversational analytics. Oh, I know. Oh my God. Yes, of course. I know conversational analytics. Don't. Everyone and their mom is doing conversational analytics. Okay. Pydantic AI. Let me go look again on Pydantic AI. I don't want to be too cynical about these clouds and these all these crass commercial activity. Pydantic validation. Let's go read it. Let's go read it. Let's read an agent framework real quick. Can you show me? There we go. There we go. Right. So we got an agent. We have an opaque connection string effectively, or ID, model ID effectively. Where does hello world? Oh, I see. Okay, so that's an agent. Mm-hmm. Tools and dependency injection. Dependency injection? Cool. That was what I was thinking. Support dependencies. Database connection. What's a database connection? Okay, is this like a mock? Support output. Oh, support. Is support like... Support's not... Support's... Okay. Advice returned to the customer. Cool. Risk level. Okay. Okay, cool. So it's a model. Mm-hmm. Love it. What else? So there's your agent. Mm-hmm. Similar to that, similar to this one. What is it? Instructor. Yeah, yeah. This is similar to instructor. Okay, but now there's these dependencies. Support dependencies. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Cool. Why do I need dependencies? Is that the dependency injection? Okay, cool. All right, system prompt. Return the customer name. Okay, we're in Pydantic. Context.dependencies. Oh, okay. Whoa. So we await some sort of customer name like query? Is that still mocked up? Effectively, that DB object, this database con, bank underscore database, that's got to be a mock up, right? So that means this is a mock up. Okay, cool. We're learning Pydantic here. This is awesome. Now what? We've got a tool. It can calculate a balance. Okay. All right. Look it up. Okay. Weird. It's not clear to me why there's a system prompt, why there's a tool, but whoa. Thank you. Ooh, dynamic system prompts. Oh, cool. Dependency injection of system prompts dynamically. That's neat. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah. Okay. If the type annotation is wrong, static type checkers will catch it. Cool. Okay. Do I need that for my thing? Well, let me not like overthink too much. Customer's name is customer name. Mm-hmm. Okay. Audio check. Okay. And then let's learn about tools. Register functions, the LLM may call. Okay, so these are function calls. Mm-hmm. 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 Cool, cool, cool. And yeah, presume Pydantic validates it all. Wonderful. In a real world use case, you'd add more tools and a longer system prompt to the agent. Okay. Support dependencies. Okay. What is my balance? Okay, cool. So then it'll like lazy load or something, or like it'll dependency injection. Okay, great. Support advice. Hello, John. Oh, cool. Oh, I see. This isn't an event. This is like a dependency. So this is queried every customer. Cool. So that's how the response knows their name. Love it. Okay, cool. That's a dependency. I thought it was some sort of like handler. Yeah. Awesome. 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 And this is kind of a handler. This is a tool. Love it. Okay. Neat. All right. That's your tools and that's your. All right. Cool. Instrumentation. Hold on. All right. Tool sets. Right. Runs. What kind of tool sets are they? Extra tool for a specific run. Yeah, that's all stuff I was talking about. But and then remember, I already have Claude Code, so Claude Code can do some kind of agent stuff. But okay. Mm-hmm. What's MCP? Client. Mm-hmm. Cool. All right. That's fun. I want to get into my mocking. Top LLM powered interactive data collection frameworks, right? All right, Pydantic. I'm like a rookie Pydantic programmer now. Instructor library. We did that one. Okay, cool. It's perfect for my use case. Okay. Is it perfect? Okay. Let's start a new conversation. I want to get a fun. I want to get something fun. Let's make it expensive and maybe better. All right. Okay. Help me design a Python package, and like developer friendly API and like mental model. The package is for like gathering key information from a human using an interactive chat, right? The package is for, let's clarify. Let's just give it a name too. Code name, let's call it like just XYZ. Interactively chat with a human in order to gather like key information, in order to gather needed information. Okay. The specific use case, it should be let's see, let's do this. Yeah, instructor. The you a data model or data. Do I want like a full-on data model? Sure. Yeah, I do. I want to specify a data model. And then do I want this thing to be evented? Do I want it coupled to a particular agent? Yeah, it can be. It can be like an agent framework. So it's coupled because it has to like chat, right? I already have a Copilot kit running, right? Where's the like use cases? Yeah, or examples. Dashboard, React. Yeah, form filling for sure, right? In fact, this may be the best example of all of them. Right. This is totally, it happened today. Great. I have the information I need. Yeah. Let's read the code of this. Is this it? How much code is it? Actually, wait, didn't I clone out Copilot Kit? Let's see if I cloned it out. Did I not? All right, let's clone it. Let's do it. Come here, Copilot Kit. Come on, give me a Claude.md. All right. Oops. I got my keyboard shortcut. Okay. Let's ask Claude to help. Let's ask Claude to help with this demo. Where was that? Form filling. And let's dive in now. Wow, it's a big code base. Okay. Prompts, utils, read some utils. Okay. What's user info? Retrieve user info. Imagine a database call here. Okay. Cool. So then what's the prompt? Okay. Neat. Okay, so it's just all, it's like literally all a prompt, right? Oh, nice. Okay, so it's just all prompted. It's all just done. It's all just cowboy prompting. All right. To file an incident. Mm-hmm. It's not bad. If it goes conversational from just this, then that's fine. Now, how does that data flow back into the other side? Do not summarize the incident report. Just file it and tell them you've updated the form. Okay. Do not ask to confirm the incident report. Okay. Right. All right. Uh-huh. Use it. Do not make them cool. Okay. One at a time. All right. To be as descriptive as possible. Okay. So it's super kind of specific for gathering this data. That's interesting. That's cool. It's like the other side of the spectrum from like a Pydantic model. That's kind of what I was thinking is it's just a markdown list. All right. But now how does this like feed the front end? Like how does this flow back to the front end? I guess I could ask Claude that. It's probably cloned down now. It's init. Oh, I probably don't need that init, do I? Whatever. I don't need that init. Mm-hmm. So I'll just ask it that same question. I was wondering form filling how, in the example Copilot dash form filling. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Claude. Are you gonna ask permission? I see. So auto accept edits. I wonder if planning mode is just read only mode or if it's explicitly prompted to plan. I would guess it's prompted to plan. It's more than just auto accept edits is like, write anything mode. Normal mode is like case by case prompting, and then plan mode is just read only. It can't be that. Okay. Thank you. So let me ask my question now finally. Hey, let me see if I can get the like. Nope. It's just a prompt object. Lib. Let's back up a little. Components. Yeah. Let's see if that works. Cool. All right, what do I want to learn? Well, is that positive? Is that encouraging? I guess that's encouraging that it's just I think it's a kind of a prompt. Let's see what Claude has told me. Application state, yes. Mm-hmm. Use Copilot readable. Oh, cool. Okay, cool. So it's in React on the front end, you just have a nice little hook and you're hooked into all those. It's piped all the way to the. I love it. Okay. Security. Use Copilot readable. React hook form instance. Okay. Use Copilot readable. So that must be a big hook they use. The AI can update the form through a registered action. Okay. Use Copilot action. Okay. I see. I see. That's really interesting. I'm already kind of picking up that if I go back to my like idea, if this is browsing around like AWS, it's not clear to me anymore. Like Copilot Kit is not in this front end, right? Copilot Kit is not in this AWS page here, so unless unless I do my trick of teaching these agents to like penetrate, to connect into the Puppeteer, port, which even if that worked, whether it seems risky to just start modifying the JavaScript or the VMs or whatever, but you could, and then you insert a script tag or whatever, and off you go. But anyway, Copilot Kit might be marginally valuable because I got my chat on the right. That's cool, but on the left, these aren't going to be connected very often. At least certainly not with like a nice convenient React component where I can just say, all right, if the user says something about their incident, I want that data to flow all the way into my state here, or into my hook here, and I want to reflect that user's information from their chat in the React component render, right? That's awesome. I get that. I love that. But it may be a rare thing to do. I'm not planning on writing any UI at the moment. Web UI. I'm not planning on writing any React at the moment. If I don't have to. React's awesome, but I don't want to write a bunch of React. So cool. We're learning. This is cool. So Copilot Kit, form filling. What's a productivity? Okay. React plus LangChain. Let's view this code. So then what is this thing? Research. JS SDK. JS agent. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. I want to get excited about a UI. Maybe I'll get excited, take a quick break, and then write an agent that does this. So let's get back into Claude. What was this? Copilot form filling. We're good. I feel good on Copilot Kit. I've done my DD on Copilot Kit. It should be similar to the Python instructor library. And then I want a Pydantic data model. Let's do that. I want to specify a Pydantic data model. Let me think. Do I? Or is it just maybe implemented with a Pydantic data model? Well, I don't know. What should it do? If, as a user, I want to say, well, let's just look at the concrete use case that I've got to solve, right? During interactive mode, where's the like question? Here, there. Yes. During interactive mode, I need to know just this is basically Pydantic. I could do this in Pydantic. Each of these could be strings, and then the validation could be LLM backed. If you said the operational context is, I want to be a millionaire, I could say that's not like valid. That's not enough for me to take action, right? As is just like basically a Pydantic validation callback. I could query out. I may or may not choose to use like an agentic framework, but all I got to do is ask the LLM, does it pass validation? Okay. So the answer is I do not need something too abstract. I just want a Pydantic data model. Okay, good. I want to specify a Pydantic data model. Especially, ideally, although perhaps wrapped in easier syntactic sugar. The point is to make it super, super syntactic sugary. I want a sweet, 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 like DSL. Yeah, wrapped in easier let's just say it. Inspired by Ruby DSLs, right? I want a sweet DSL. But now okay, so this is almost like instructor. The only thing is might even be implemented with instructor. It could literally be, where'd it go? Where'd instructor go? Whoops, here. It's just that it has to implement the chatting back kind of thing, you know? And then does it need to be, let me think now. So is it Copilot Kit? Is it like agentic? Yeah, I think I'm going to choose an agentic framework and implement it on that framework. Uh-huh. So then it doesn't need to be event driven, or does it need to be asynchronous? The thought of it being event driven or asynchronous is great. That's how I can hook into any backend agentic, let's say, framework that I want. Is this thing's telling me, okay, we need to ask a question now. Here's the question to ask the user. And then I can say, oh, okay, let's go do that. No. No, I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm gonna let it can be CLI, you know, UI or something. I can worry about wiring it into this like traffic jam. This traffic jam. All these different tools are competing to sort of collide to like run browsers and run agents and front ends and back ends, and they're all VC backed agent frameworks trying to step on each other's toes. So I'll solve that later. Let's say inspired by the Python instructor. And then I want to specify a data model, right? I want to specify a data model. Let me think, what else do I want to specify? Oh, and especially empowered validation. Right. Empowered validation. Empowered validation. Let's say this. 2 key requirements. Let's try this. Empowered validation and like professional, conversational, like UI UX, right? UX. For example, let me just do my example. Let me know that the budget, so that I can get started on the plan, right? Right? You can't do a plan without a budget, right? Yeah. Gathering requirements and preparing to launch a startup product, right? Digital startup product, right? And where was my, let's try that, right? broad operation. Let me just, okay. Like pasted below, let's say. Give me some ideas. Great ways to express that. Oh, let's see. Professional, 2 key requirements. Because we are mocking, give me examples of how the code a developer might use for XYZ. The code a developer might write to use XYZ, and also example mocked like LLM conversations, showing the like implementation, right? Let's see. Give me examples of the code a developer might write using XYZ. I hope this works. It's been a lot of time prompting here. Plus example mocked conversations, mocked resulting conversations. Of the data gathering. And finally, what am I trying to say? Like returned data object with, yeah, let's try that. Yeah, here is my first use case. Whatever, I'm getting sick of this. Let's keep going. All right. Not the package, but yeah, the API design, thank you. Gather, conversational style, okay. Validators, All right, so there's a user persona, there's pain points, Are they lists? I don't like this. Also, geez, compared to active record, this is not syntactic sugar. This is a bunch of data objects, a bunch of data models. This is not syntactic sugar. What is it? A syntactic sugar is like I can write it in Markdown, maybe. Let me think. The budget is not a number. The budget is not a number. Okay. I have an idea. These are all strings. And does the scope have to be nested? No. Or yes. Let me think. Is it just a list of information to know? Because the thing about budget, like it's a valid answer to say the budget is $100 per month for 4 months, and then it's 0 maybe, right? Or to say like the budget is $100 this month and $200 next month, and then onward. I feel like that's valid. It should be able to plan on that basis. Anyway, a number is not a budget. It's a budget is a velocity, right? A speed, right? A budget is money per unit time, really. We've got this much this year. We've got this much we've got this much per month. So these are strings, maybe. Should I keep going, or should I'm gonna modify my work. Okay. LLM powered environment professional conversation. Was there a third requirement? I want to specify a data model. I want to specify my data. It is only one, except I want to specify my data fields because the data model is like non-nested. Is there a word for non-nestable? One layer, like strings only. The data model supports strings only, no nested, no nested or structured data. Okay, cool. There's LLM powered validation. There's a professional conversational like UX to gather, right? Able to jump around. Why? No. I don't need to declare. I don't need to find how it works. We're just mocking up the UI. Okay. Right. Structured data. Right. So then this scope, here's my first use case. Let's not challenge it too much. Let's just flatten it by hand. Yes, perfect. I could specify like the validation, right? Or actually, I'm already learning. Right. I want to specify my data fields. I want to name my data fields. Describe them, and define validation. LLM powered validation rules. Right. Awesome. The data model supports strings only, no nested structured data. Awesome. 2 key requirements. Data, I already specified that. Like rather than what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? Cold survey style. Rather than a cold survey style, like rather than a cold step-by-step style, the UX should be professional conversational chat, right? Chat to gather the data, right? Let me just not say no problem, go to the dentist. Able to jump, able to, what am I trying to say? Like discuss multiple topics, multiple data fields, and either about the information or else to what am I trying to say? Like refocus, or else off topic, or else to like, what am I trying to say? Like politely off topic, something like that. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Okay. Let's try again. Let's just see what it says now. Cool. We're learning stuff. Good. It's hard to notice in the moment, but I think this is awesome. No data types. It's string only. The budget is a string. I think that's awesome. I love it. All right. Oh, geez. Did I say syntactic sugar? Wait, you're not going to implement it, are you? Add field? No. All right. I'm going to have to like, oh my God, this does not look pleasant. Validation. Okay. Yeah, just stop. This is not what I want. Cool. Gatherer.gather. Field builder. Right. Describe. Validate with LLM. Okay, cool. So if you validate with LLM, is there like an asynchronous, is there anything asynchronous? I think the answer is no. You just describe in natural language a validation rule. Maybe. What is this? Is this like the conversation document? Cool. Okay, the conversation document looks good. Check if the scope is specific and actionable within 1 or 2 weeks. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. This is fun. This is way too verbose, but whatever, right? We're building a platform. What in the world? Why are you rewriting me? Oh, additional API patterns, okay. Thank you. Regex validator? Right, no. Yes. That's so cool. Yes, that's so cool. Exactly, exactly, exactly. Okay. All right, stop generating them. I don't care. Okay. Um more simple and short and fat. More simple and short. What do I want? We're not validating, okay? I want it to be let's is there a name of my like information object of my like form data, my data row, my field, my questions, what would I call them? Custom hooks. God, is this thing gonna do DevOps? This is not what I asked. Not, geez, on field complete. Since you're bootstrapped, oh my God. No, I just certainly don't want to write that explicitly. Whew. Oh, validation. Oh, that's interesting. I could I could add in some prompts for, that's kind of neat. If validation fails, you could clarify why. Let's skip it. That's pretty neat. That's neat. That's neat. That's neat. If attempt equals 1, attempt equals 2, no. That's getting too into it, but that's hilarious. Would you like to skip this for now? Hopefully it doesn't do skipping. Okay. So let me think. This is a good start. This is a good start. So my update, okay. For one thing, firstly, all right. Or actually, there is no implementation, right? Package, example, this is a conversation. Gathering API. Let's not do advanced. Yeah, there is no implementation. Class field, define a data field. No, okay. Okay. The, like, philosophically, am I trying to say? I'll just say that. Minimal and heavily like string prompt based rather than like structured. Like, for example, I wish like the information I need and, oh, so if I use a decorator, conversation style, professional, don't care. If I use a decorator, do I want only the information I need and use decorators? To specify, I don't know, validations. Let's try it. Right. Okay. So let's see. Where was my example? Let me go pull my example. Right. Broad operational context. Cool. Let me just paste it. Oh yeah, the idea was like I would specify it somehow. Like give it a name, right? And then there'd be like decorators. Well, let's just start quoting stuff, right? Is there a short name and a long name? No, right? No. A short, unique name, right? And then, right, description is, broad operating business circumstances, major user personas, what is that? Broad operational context has a description. Something like the below pseudocode, but doable as a Python, consumer of this package, right? So there's broad operational context. I thought I was going to put validation on top, but maybe I don't. Let's keep going. So there's a longer description. Or right, I like define a short unique name. There's a description. I could just pass that in, right? Or I could make it a class or something. Name. Broad operational context, right? Description. Clear, like a description, right? Business circumstances, major user personas, major like, business major like, what am I trying to say? Like go-to-market strategy, like competitive strategy. Right. Okay. There's a description. User personas. I know what I'll do. Stop. Oh, shoot. No. Stop telling me I'm absolutely right. Get out of my face with that. Get it. Okay. Name, a short, unique name, description, clear description. Right. I think every like data point looks something like this, right? Description, right? What else is there? A short, unique name, a clear, like longer description, right? Would it be in here? Like, what is, let me think. No, that's fine. And then let's just keep it simple. Validation rules, right? 0 or more validation rules. And then another question is like, is it required or not? Is it skippable? Yeah, nullable, right? Or is it just, no, if it's nullable, you don't put it in here. Let me think. If they're like, what's your budget? And you're like, I don't care. No, you put I don't care in there. No, nothing's nullable. Nothing's nullable. What's your strategy? The null strategy. No, no, no. No, there can be a string with a human quote of a human that says, we have no strategy. That's a non-null strategy. Okay. So then 0 or more validation rules. Each is a string or slash or prompt. Right? Right? What was that? So then it was like, what was my dang? Broad operational context, let's call it, right? You know, and so then that would be, what was it? Yeah, business circumstances, major competitive strategy, like whatever. Major, like business, major, right? Like top short-term goals, top long-term goals, right? Oh no, that's already in the scope. Cool. Great. So let's not do that. Wonderful. That's my problem to model that out. Now what? Business major competitive strategy. And then like must, do I just write it in English? Must be sufficient for a like digital tech team to implement a prototype, right? To implement and deploy like a product, right? A product. Let's just say it, right? The point is I can quickly fix these. So it must be sufficient for a digital tech team to implement and deploy a product. Anything else? How about this? Must be a I was going to say must be like a legal activity in the jurisdiction. Let's try this. Let's just to make it, you know, must be in the like fintech space, right? Boom, boom. So that's it, right? Right, so that's like validation rule, you know. Is that it? 0 or more, that's it. Description, name, description, validation rules. Name, description, validation rules. So then there's like short-term scope, right? It's your immediate short-term to ship today. Must be sufficiently like fleshed out for a digital tech team to, what am I trying to say? To build a and cost analysis, right? Right. Right. Whatever that means. And then could I have an agent like think that through? That's fine for now. That's interesting. Instead of like LLM validation, it starts to get more complex, but I'm adding features to code that doesn't even exist right now. So that's madness. So must be in the fintech. Cool. Let me just pick another one just for, or what's another like fintech or what would I say? Like, what is it called? Real estate tech? Prop tech? That's it. Is it prop tech? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Cool. Short-term scope. Immediate short-term to ship today, like Must be like detailed enough for an engineer to deploy a product, right? Something like that. Long-term scope. Long-term vision, right? Scope, right? Oh yeah. Oh, and then these constraints, right? Business constraints. Oh, interesting. Are the constraints part of the operational context or part of the scope? That's interesting. I guess the scope was like, what's the product? Because the budget could be a constraint also. So let's keep it. Short-term scope, longer-term scope. So long-term scope is out. That's the same thing as the broad operational context. Who cares? So the constraints are back in, and the budget is back in. Short-term MVP scope, right? That's the point. That's the point. We're getting agile. So the budget. Like reasonable, sensible validation rules, like what am I trying to say? Typical sensible validation rules, like no negatives within typical, business range, not billions of dollars. Although, I mean, right. Let's just say that, whatever. Constraints, example data homing. Let's just do that. Oh, amount of usage, my limits. Let's keep going. Oh, is that Opus? Let's do it. Come on, Schwartz. Hopefully this will improve. Okay, gather. There's a field. It goes validate, validate, validate. Yeah, with this like class structure. That's cool. Is it cool? Mm-hmm. I wish it was like vertically or horizontally, you, yo, thank you. Print result dot operational context, result dot budget. Okay. I kind of like it. I think this is working. I think I'm starting to slightly get excited. Gather, class, startup, field, business context. So there's the name. Why don't I give it that? Seems like that business context. Okay, 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 okay. I want to make some changes. This MVP, I want to name it that. Is it that that can't be a key in a? Is it that that can't be a a field name? Do we have to stick to like variable names, label names? Because if so, I don't like it. I just do a dictionary or something, right? Just send in a string. Well, let's think. Let's think. This is fun. This is fun. Right. Totally. What the world is going on? Okay. I trust you. Okay, good. Coffee's running out. This is coming out. Maybe that's the thing to ship. Up an assistant that gathers scope. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So if I go to my plan, let me just kind of save some changes here. Whiteboard, right? So the assistant I mean, I guess we've confirmed there's been so much due diligence. There just really is not, there's like research tools, but this is not like RAG. It's not about like searching the web and synthesizing. I think to a larger extent, you're pulling from the genuine, from the weights of these models. You're pulling from the genuine, knowledge encoded in the models, like a three-tiered architecture, or if the scope must include disaster recovery, and it should be able to spot that if that's violated. So that's kind of good. But there is just not a like open source tool. I guess what I'm saying is my hypothesis remains since this morning that the key to unlocking Vibe DevOps is solving the problem of turning a high level business requirement. I'm such a consultant. This is so embarrassing. It feels so good. It's so dirty. If we can solve the problem of using an LLM to convert a high level user like business requirement, such as I want to launch a service on the internet. I want to launch a digital, thing. It can like expand and expand and expand. And what do they say? Decompose that so thoroughly that Claude Code can then just put the fingers on the keyboard. And so the decomposition, the unpacking or the fleshing out of the like clear but high level requirements into actually doing it all, that's the new thing. That's the value add. Or that's the big experiment to try now. It's not a question of can Claude Code push Terraform. It's a question of how did we ever decide to use Terraform? And it backtracks all the way to some of these key requirements, like it's got to be IAC or something. And those key requirements come from like checking into this project eventually. And so then what's going to happen next, let's see if this thing finished. Are you still not done? Please tell me you're done. Oh, okay. I hit my limit. Let's see. This is cool though. Tuple syntax. Oh, thank you. MVP ship. Okay. Right. Dictionary style. I kind of like, yeah, thank you. I'm going to noodle on this. I'm going to take a little break. And I think I might build this tool. This gather. Do I have any example code? So what I want to do is like point it at my, I want to put it in this chat window on the right. Instead of just saying, hello, how are you doing? It'll say like what project do you want to build, let's say. And then off we go. And then it's completely conversational. Let's see if any of those, where was that? Conversations, I don't understand, but yeah, here we go. Let's explore your startup idea. Business contact. Yes, exactly. And then the human says stuff. Independent fitness instructors. Yes. It's Shopify for fitness classes. Yes. Good. I noticed you mentioned fitness. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yes. Right. If it does this, that's great. If all this happens to me for free, as far as programming, not the tokens, that's great. And then it pops and yes. Cool. Yes, exactly. Yes. Okay. And then it's a little less important. It's basically like this. I think that's cool. There's a field. These need to be like unique and not conflict, but I don't care. It's fine. Just something really lightweight. Because the point is each of these validations needs to bounce off the LLM. The LLM needs to assess whether that's valid or not, right? And ideally in one round trip, if I could, afford it, if I can get away with it in one round trip. Interesting. You could maybe use Pydantic to build a little data object that says, is the detailed validated? Is the fintech thing validated? And then run that through with instructor. Is it instructor? Instructor. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I could do. Once the validation is defined, use instructor to just get a bunch of booleans and then send it through and say, is it valid? True, false, true, false. Could work. Could work. Could work. Okay. And then let me think. I think that's cool because something I haven't really written down is there's going to be follow up, you know? So there might be like a third phase. Where was those phases? You know, a lot of this is we're still thinking about day one and bootstrapping, but there's going to be another phase after independent mode. There's going to be, follow-up mode, right? Or there's going to be subsequent conversations. And now there's a bunch of stuff built out, right? And so I think like, oh, maybe you could get away with, oh, my nested lists are breaking this, but maybe you could get away with just going back to phase one. Instead of from scratch, it's like I think that's the answer. This is the loop. This is the loop. After phase three, it's as it were, it's shipped. This is sort of when Claude Code is like back to your main prompt, right? All right, we shipped all that, we're done. Do you want to talk about something else? And then if you do, the scope, rather than being in English, create a new website, the scope is going to be update our website, something like that. And then it's going to say, oh, okay, well, that's going to be real easy, we're just going to modify this and push it up. You mind? It won't change the cost at all. Something like that. That could fit. So that's the loop, is an interactive mode of Q&A. It makes me think, I don't know how generic this thing needs to be, but I'm going to go with it. I kind of like this. It'll talk to you. I mean, I've searched so much. I have not seen anything that will talk to you. It's like instructor, but it'll talk back to you in a generic way or in a, and this is kind of nice. I can choose my, like back end. I'll think about it. Like, how's this going to be implemented? In other words, do I want to get married to Copilot Kit or not? But I'll think about that. And that will solve phase one interactive mode. It will not solve. Okay, so I was right. Independent mode seems like maybe a different challenge from interactive mode. Interactive mode now, I think I remember the idea was like, a real human would, as soon as you start talking, I'm building the plan in my mind. I'm saying, oh, okay, now it was batch and now it's streaming, or it was, whatever. So in a human mind, you're bouncing back. You're kind of prepping and interacting at the same time. You're forming little hypotheses. So that's fine. I think this is a fine starting point, is to just push through. And I notice even Claude Code kind of has this, it'll just do what you say and then return back to the prompt. There's not a like, that I noticed. It really at no point does it say, wait, are you sure? I think it can request to, it can request for permission stuff, but I don't think it can ever just say, oh, quick clarifying question real quick. Maybe it can. But I've never seen that UI. I've never seen it like, or maybe it'll ask from a little drop down that I can choose. I can't remember. The hooks might tell me that. Okay. So then when I return, Right. All of this stuff is harder a little bit. We'll see. I wonder if I can use it. I'll see if I can reuse it. But I like this. I like the simplicity now of a real simple agent that just asks all of that context, and then it's able. What was the reason? The reason was those inputs then become part of the like choose a platform provider. Um, Ooh, I wonder if allowing people to say I don't care, is that a validation step? Should I have another little hint? No, that'll be in the description. No, no, no. It's an LLM. The description can say, or you can say I don't care. So then, um, I think that's the point. We just talk until we get everything sorted out. The validation rules can be arbitrarily specified by just I kind of think, even though it's the least syntactic sugared, I kind of like this one. I don't know. I don't like that one, and I don't like that one. So I guess, and yeah, yeah. So I think I kind of like decorator syntax, and then I don't subclass, I gather, whatever, and then those validation rules can tighten or broaden it out. Any other time I need to interactively like chat through something, I think it could come up. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna take a break and kind of log off, and then return, and I'm gonna write some code uh, to chat out this to make this API. I'm gonna implement this. I'm gonna implement this. It's gonna return this basically. I'm gonna implement this. And if I'm happy that I've got a chatbot that can like scope out like a startup idea, a startup build or a new product build, scope it out in an interactive chat, even though I would have, I would have thought things like that exist. Um, I'm gonna be happy. It's gonna be awesome. Basically, instructor, but it chats back to you to repopulate everything. Um, that is going to be phase 1 of 3, right? Oh man, I'm gonna move it. Where's that phase 1? That'll be phase 1 of 3. And independent high level prep and independent mode are not very different. Complete the plan. Yeah, independent high level prep and independent mode are not so different. It's just that independent mode in there, I forgot to write down. It's like actually ship it all and do it all, but that's fine. So that's good. That's progress. All right, I'll click it off, take a little break, and then we'll write some code. I'm gonna ship some open source.